Okay, it's day 44, and this is the New York Times article about. I'm going to just keep calling him Peter Strokes, but you'll know that I mean STRZ, STRZ. Peter Strokes and Lisa Page, the lawyer. And the situation, or the situation, looks a lot differently now, with Lisa Page maybe being complicit in the conspiracy, working directly for Andrew McCabe. And of course, in my analysis, metadata analysis this morning, Peter Strzok's career looked so identical and similar to Andrew McCabe just based on metadata. I thought it was Andrew McCabe. It is so close, and I'll go through how some of that is come about. But this is the very good article here in Heavy. It talks about the lawsuits against McCabe and lawsuits against Peter Strzok's. It talks about Lisa Page's involvement and some of the other things. News I'm breaking this morning with Robin Gritz. She's talking about how she filed with the Office of the Special Counsel. The Office of the Special Counsel is Robert Mueller. She filed before Robert Mueller took over that position, but the FBI is definitely stonewalled. So this is my reporting as a few minutes ago. Interesting. I filed a complaint directly with the Office of Special Counsel, but I know they had been waiting for documents from the FBI. They could delay every document request, FOIAs, EEOs, it's equal opportunity stuff, you name it. Even the Inspector General from DOJ complained about Grassley's office being stonewalled by the FBI. And then she goes on to talk about, down here, another friend of hers who had retired through OPM. I'll drop it down here. Through OPM, and they just never sent the paperwork over. So he was like, okay, well, I'm going to send over my paperwork. He just never got it, and he's been fighting the FBI for 12 years. So it's these winners and losers. If you're inside of Andrew McCabe's counterintelligence little clique, the little JTTF clique, you're going to the, doing the counterterrorism a week before the Super Bowl, a week before the football playoffs, NFL games, a week before World Cup, etc., and you're partying it up just like Hillary did with her Secret Service people in Colombia. That if you're in that group, you're in the winners. But if you're a gumshoe FBI out there on the street doing real investigative work and not fake crime, well, then you're in the losers. We're going to delay all your paperwork. We're going to stonewall you. We're going to make you sorry you ever worked for the FBI. We're going to pad our winners, and we're going to strike at our losers. And just so even this guy, even the Inspector General of the Department of Justice, Officer of Department of Justice, and this is going to be Matt Horowitz, complained about it. So this is not something that George's personal vendetta against McCabe. Actually, as I've said before, I want him to live on a nice big ranch with very green grass. But I don't think that person needs to be running a coup, an information coup against the president, which is obviously what's happened. He's put in his cronies to attack the sitting president. This guy here, we want to find him, his Eric Crotty. He sued, I'm sorry, my phone's just going crazy. He sued the FBI for using these wacky interview questions that if they're completely subjective, these are the same questions used at Fairfax County. If they like you, then great. That means they can get you in. If they don't like you, they can keep you out. So Crotty here filed a lawsuit, and we're going to be looking at that. Kathy Mueller was the investigator, awfully close to Mueller. I mean, almost if it was your daughter, you would want her to drop the E just so people wouldn't say nepotism. We don't know, but that's why I put it there. Now, everybody says, well, why did you put the address of Andrew McCabe? Why did you pin that? Well, I put an address for him for 1998. Now, did I know that he bought it in 2016? Yeah, I just thought that was a little weird 20 years later. I used a 3-year-old address. Did I know he bought it? Actually, yeah, I probably did. But when I saw all kinds of power upgrades going in, sorry about my phone, when I saw all kinds of power upgrades going in there, when I saw these new AT&T pedestals, when I saw 200 different wiring teams going in, when I saw these, all the Google Fiber going in, when I saw the AT&T Wi-Fi, AT&T fiber line going in, when I saw the depressions and dips for these new vaults, the wiring vaults near there, I just said, well, if you were moving your money out of Malaysia and out of Gulan's little hands and you wanted to safe keep it, what would you do? Well, I'd move it offshore. I'd move it through Bitcoin and I would mine the Bitcoin. Now, mining Bitcoin takes a lot of power. And I've been talking to power experts all day about how much power has been wired into Hillary's place. Now, am I saying Andrew McCabe is laundering money? Absolutely not. There's no way I'm saying that. But I just want people to visualize. You have this place out in Maryland. The with these 35 people that are spies. Within that group somewhere, you got 5 or 6 of your own GPS people. You paid for them. We have the receipts now that FBI paid Fusion GB, excuse me, for these people. Where do you move them? After they get Flynn to sign off and finally call Kislyak, who's dead now. Kislyak is dead now. They say we don't need these guys anymore, and they get rid of them. Where do you move that 5 or 6 guys that's embedded in that team? Do you move it to Chappaqua? Are they living up there in Chappaqua right now? Did the Awans go to Chappaqua? Who knows? But they're not answering service, and that isn't helping. One thing is for sure, I'm going to add both of these people to my discovery. Both the Peter Strokes is what I call him, Peter Strokes, until I learn how to pronounce his name, Peter Strokes, and this Lisa Page. If this person is a personal lawyer for Andy McCabe, and this person is kind of a personal hitman for Andy McCabe, that's going to come forward. People in the FBI are sick of this. That is going to come forward. That information is going to come forward. So I'm going to leave it right there right now. That's where the investigation kind of is at. It's obviously very fast moving here, with the phone blowing up, but that's where, you kind of took a couple of minutes out of the newsroom here to kind of, do here's how the dots are connecting as of right now. You can go to the Twitter feed to see how things are going, but that's where we are right now.